Welcome to 15 Minutes Health, your source for clear, evidence-based insights in nutrition, neuroscience, longevity, and everyday wellness. Each video delivers science you can trust, designed to help you build a stronger, healthier life, all in under 15 minutes. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss practical, science-backed tools that can improve your health for the rest of your life.
What if you could add not just more years to your life, but more healthy years? Seriously, we're talking about an entire decade of vibrant, active living. Well, today we are going to cut through all the noise and give you the real, evidence-based roadmap to get there. Okay, let's just start right there. The longevity lifespan circus. Those are some pretty strong words, right? And they're coming from Dr. Eric Topol, who is a pioneering physician and, one of the most respected and cited medical researchers on the planet. He is pointing a finger directly at the entire anti-aging industry. He's basically arguing that this whole multi-billion-dollar industry, with its fancy clinics and supplements and IV drips, it's selling a fantasy. They're chasing the wrong thing. And a lot of the time, they're pushing products with zero proof that they actually work in humans. So first up, let's unpack what Dr. Topol means by the longevity circus. We're going to look at this huge gap between what the science actually supports and what's being sold to us. So take a look at this list. You probably recognize some of these. They're the hottest and, most expensive trends in the anti-aging world. But Dr. Topol's warning is really stark. While some of this stuff looks promising in, say, a lab mouse, there is zero hard evidence it works for you and me. And worse, some of it carries some pretty serious risks, like cancer or a weakened immune system. He even says he wouldn't get a free total body MRI, calling it a recipe for trouble because you're so likely to get false positives that lead to all sorts of unnecessary, risky procedures. So if all of that stuff is just, circus theatrics, what's the main event? What does the actual hard evidence point to? And this, right here, brings us to a really fundamental shift in how we think about aging. The science is telling us we need to redefine the goal completely. We need to stop chasing lifespan and start focusing on healthspan. Healthspan is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's the portion of your life that you spend in good health. Think of it as your years of healthy living, the time you have free from all those major diseases that we tend to associate with getting older. Right. So lifespan, that's just the final number. Healthspan is all about the quality of those years. The goal isn't just to make it to 95 or 100. The goal is to live well to 95 or 100. The real mission, according to the science, should be to make our health span equal our lifespan. And this is where it gets really exciting, because according to Dr. Topol, study after study shows that simple, proven lifestyle changes can extend your healthy aging by 7 to 10 years. That's not some tiny improvement. That is a massive, tangible gain. And here's why that's so achievable. The major age-related killers, we're talking cancer, heart disease, neurodegenerative stuff like Alzheimer's, they don't just pop up overnight. They can take 20 years, sometimes even more to develop. And what that gives us is this huge window of opportunity for what's called primary prevention. In other words, we have time to stop these diseases before they even start. Okay, so how do we do it? This brings us to the action plan. Dr. Topol calls it the Lifestyle Plus approach. You can think of this as your actual evidence-based prescription for longer health span. He really boils it down to 3 core areas where we tend to go wrong, and in doing so, we actually speed up the aging process. It comes down to a poor diet, especially one that's full of ultra-processed foods, a lack of consistent exercise, and that means both cardio and strength training, and poor quality sleep, specifically not getting enough of that really restorative deep sleep. Okay, let's just pause on exercise for a second. Because this quote right here, it's a showstopper. Your chronological age, how many birthdays you've had, that's fixed. But your biological age, which is how old your body actually acts and functions, that is not. And Dr. Topol is stating, based on all the science, that exercise is the single most effective thing we know of to literally turn back that biological clock. And what about what we eat? The impact is just staggering. This data comes from the huge Global Burden of Disease study, and it shows that poor nutrition is linked to 22% of all deaths worldwide. That's more than 1 in every 5 people. The food on our plate is fundamentally tied to our health span. Now, all of this sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in real life? Well, let's meet the people who are the living, breathing proof that a long health span is totally possible. Let's meet the Superagers. So, what exactly is a superager? Well, it's not just about living a long time. These are folks, usually over 80, whose minds are just as sharp and quick as someone in their 50s or 60s. It's like their brains figured out a way to just defy the normal aging process. Dr. Topol shares this incredible story about one of his patients, a woman named Mrs. R. She's 98 years old, still painting, still doing jigsaw puzzles, and she is totally 100% cognitively crisp. She has never had a major age-related disease. But here's the kicker. Her parents both died young, in their 50s. Her story is just this powerful testament that our genes, they are not our destiny. So if it's not all just about genes, what else is going on here? Well, some really recent science is pointing to a fascinating and maybe a little unexpected place for answers: our gut. A brand new study from 2024 gives us a major clue. You can see the process here. Scientists basically got a group of older adults together and split them into two camps, the super-agers and the typical agers. And then they analyzed their gut microbiomes to see if they could spot any differences. And the results were pretty incredible. They built a machine learning model that could predict who was a superager with over 86% accuracy based only on the bacteria living in their gut. This graph shows just how strong that prediction was. It's a stunning link between our gut health and our brain health as we get older. And digging in a little deeper, they found that specific types of bacteria were making all the difference. This chart here shows that having higher levels of certain good bacteria, like those from the Allostipes family, was a really strong predictor of being a superager. It seems like the unique community of microbes in our gut is a key ingredient in the superager's secret sauce. Okay, so let's bring all of this together. We've busted the myths of the so-called longevity circus, and we've looked at the real science. The future of medicine, it's not going to be about some magical anti-aging pill. It's all about primary prevention. So let's boil it all down. Number 1, shift your goal to Healthspan. Number 2, understand that your lifestyle, how you move, what you eat, how you sleep, is the only medicine with real proof behind it. The science here is incredibly empowering, and the message is crystal clear. The power to influence how well you age is overwhelmingly within your control. So, the evidence is on the table, and the opportunity to add a whole decade of healthy years to your life is very, very real. The question isn't whether it's possible. The question is, what are you going to do about it? What's one decision, one small change that you'll make today to invest in the version of you that's going to exist 10, 20, or even 30 years from now?
Thanks for watching 15 Minutes Health. If this video helped you, consider subscribing. Your support allows us to keep creating clear, science-backed content to help you stay healthier, stronger, and better informed. See you in the next video.